All right, who we got here and what do you do?
I got top 8 at the Columbus Regional with White Forest Azamina.
All right, so why did you bring White Forest Azamina?
I like the deck. That's it, man. I just like this deck a lot.
Did you playtest a lot?
About a year, if you put it that way. I was bad, but now we're good now. That's the good news.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and let's see the list.
Thank you. Whitewood core, nothing crazy. 3 Sylvie, 3 Elzettes. I am on 2 Azamina Elzette. Reason why 2 over just 1. I know it's hyper searchable. However, if you just draw this came up in several matches where people will just negate the Sylvie. They'll Ash, Imperm, Veiler, whatever it may be. They'll stop the Sylvie. But if you just have this in hand, you just keep on playing. It's just such a good extender. Plus, it helps you pivot into Azamina in like really pinch lines. But otherwise, it's all fairly core. I am on just 1 Esteller and 1 Rusia. The Rusia came up a lot today. I had a Venture Soul player take my Sylvie. I then searched my Rusia and kept playing. I won that game pretty much instantly.
Oh, yo.
And the Esteller is just here. If you know, you know. It plays around Perulia better, to keep it simple. If you know, you know. For the Diabels package, the Classic 4, this is nothing crazy. If you've seen a White Force list, I guarantee you've seen it all. This is all like stock standard. And then for Diabellstar, I am on 2. I do fear God and I do fear Bestials. I had it come up, I think, twice. But this doesn't matter. You can play 1. I do side out 1 if I know I'm going seconds. And if I know I'm not on Bestials, then I will just play 1 then. But I do like 2 though. It's very comfy.
Okay.
Non-engine for monsters at least. Shocking. Droll, Ash, and the bird, the other bird, Fubulos. Self-explanatory. Ash is honestly just here to just stop Mold Charmies. Ash is, if you're playing Ash as like an actual hand trap, please don't. Please don't. I'm gonna keep it $1.50. You can play, if your reason is for the Fubulos or for the Perelia, Meows, whatever it may be, that is fine. That is absolutely fine. Otherwise, this is kind of like most monsters in the DBL package. Otherwise, I think the only weird part, maybe the Rusia in the second Azamina Elzette. I like the second Azamina Elzette. Like I said, great extender. But otherwise, nothing's like weird to kind of keep it simple.
Okay.
For spells, the other spells and whatnot.
This man's scooping them up for the first time today.
I know, right? For spells, nothing crazy again. 3 Wanted, 3 Foolish Goods. I did not see this card a lot today. I think I saw it twice, but every time I saw it, it won me the game.
This is the God card.
It's so good. Now, the theme behind this whole deck list is to keep the deck flexible, especially around Joel. I got Joel a ton today. Last match too, I got Joel literally every match. I didn't see the Foolish Goods, however, there's other elements designed into this deck that kind of help player through Droll and kind of help dampen the blow against it, because it does suck. I am not on sales ban.
Okay.
I should be, but I couldn't find any in time.
That's crazy!
And, yeah, I know, right? It would have made my life a lot easier if I just opened it.
This man said this as if I don't have 3 in my binder.
we can fix that. Anywho, 3 which is the White Forest.
Yeah.
I am on a spell card that makes this like full combo. It is a little vulnerable to nib those, the big issue, obviously.
No one's on it.
I think I got nibbed. I didn't see nib at all today, actually. Hold on.
Yeah, no one's on it?
No one's on nib. Regardless, though, there are lines in this deck. If you know the lines, that play through nib. You just make it better and board if you do get nibbed. For the one-ofs, there's a lot of them. You're going to have to work with me here. Deception, Hollowed, Archetype of the Archetype, Fighting on the Name, Tails, Deaders, I'll talk about this here in a second, 1 Thrust, and the big 3.
Okay, so I actually want to ask about something personally real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
So why are you on 1 Deception?
I was on 2 initially in the past. The way this deck was built initially was I wanted to build something. Azamina cards are very good. To keep it simple, they're very good. They're very efficient. It's very hard to interact with them because by the time that you actually hit the board, they have high impact. Soul to Send, Moo searches twice in some scenarios. If you know, you know. 1 Deception, I used to be on 2. I cut it down to 1 just for deck space. This is 45 cards for context.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like I said, it's a ton of 1-ofs though. You will draw like a couple of 1-ofs like in your opening hand, but none of these are like hard bricks except for 1 card. It's the Philia Diabell that goes with the Diabell package.
Okay.
the math just kind of doesn't map out properly if you ever draw it and you're not going second. If you are going second and you draw it, it's pretty solid. But if you're going first and you draw it, it's so crusty.
Clean.
But otherwise, though, these one-ups are pretty stock standard. I like the archetype. The archetype came up here a couple times here. Not a whole ton today, but I didn't really need it. It's very good. I do think every list should be playing this because it's a flexible card. It's good going first, good going second. It does a lot. Now, Debtors. I want to talk about this card here.
Okay.
Debtors is very good because obviously if you read the field spell says if you do add, you cannot summon darks from the extra deck for that turn. Debtors is just Hollowed Azamina, but a quick play spell. So what you can do is that you use your Deception Search for the Debtors instead. And then you just summon your Azaminas during your opponent's turn. It's really good. I like it a lot personally. It also has a really nice little graveyard effect where you can banish it to reborn any Azamina monster. So in the event you need like another level 2 extender, you can theoretically reborn the Azamina Elza in the, like say you used it, they remove something, reborn Azamina Elza again. It's disgusting. It's very good. I love this card a lot. I do side out going second though. It's only good going first because it's here for the Fulos. Because otherwise it's full combo with just that is at your end board. You give your opponent 2 draws for full combo.
That's hot.
That is worth it in my opinion. That's a worthwhile trade. Thrust, Talons, called by Cross Elf. This makes sense.
The fun ups.
The very fun ups. And for trap cards, there's only 3. Technically, you already saw the one before. Black Goat and Morian. Morian, if you know, again, you know. There's a lot of stuff in White Forest. Look up like the 3-hour guide on YouTube. I guarantee it's there. It's all free. The Whitewood Cult does not charge people for their lines and spreadsheets. We do not charge. But Morian kind of just ticks all the boxes. It's everything that you need. Sinful Spoil, to free send, it resets itself for free. If you know the ruling where after it sets itself, it's technically marked for banish. However, if you hollowed send the Morian plus something else, so like a Wanted, Deception, you still get to summon your fusion. That's how that really works. It just checks to make sure something hits the graveyard. So that is the main deck. And for the extra deck, there's nothing super crazy in it, I want to be honest. I think the wildest take in this whole deck is just 2 Azamina Elza, I'm going to say it. That's probably my hottest take. It's kind of lukewarm though. But synchros, extra deck. Diabel, Poplar, Rosiliago, and Ilia and Silvera. I'll talk alongside Vengeance and Changeable. I call these the big 6. Every deck should have the big 6 in my opinion, in the extra deck. These do a ton. Changeable came up today twice. Vengeance stalled me enough to kind of recoup and regather enough resources. Surveyor Book of Eclipse is always amazing. Not a once per turn. Use it and abuse it. Roselia is really good at searching. Poplar it leads into more. I am on the Damn Dragon for context. I will call out OCG name. We'll talk about it later. And Diabel. If Diabel hits the board, you win the game.
Yeah.
That is the biggest challenge in this deck, is just kind of getting to that like end board piece. Diabel is like that first flag marker where if she hits the board, the game is pretty much over.
It's engaged.
But better. It does so much. Everybody thinks it negates. It doesn't.
No.
For the other synchros, we are on one other synchro. I am on the Jura. This won me my last match, so I can't say it's bad by any means. It's very good. Inlines, again, if you ever get like drolled, your Diabel Black Witch can just, with your level 14, just makes this. It's a good time card. Also, Quick Effect Raigeki is just good. I can't really say much else about it. It's solid. These synchros are nothing crazy. You'll see these on a lot of lists. Nothing out of the ordinary. For fusions, for the Azamina cards, we're on, I'm on all of them actually. Unironically, we are on all of them. So, Mu and Ilia, these are in literally every deck. This is stock standard. I am on the Soul. Spot removal came up a lot today. I removed a lot of detonators with him. He trades very well into Ryzeal in general. Morugina also came up today too. Vanquish Soul player, again, he took my Sylvie. I'm able to actually, I Book of Eclipse his board with the Silvera, and then I go Wanted Engraved to draw a card. I then chain Morugina, pop both set monsters. So he's down to like 3 cards at that point.
You're so clean.
This card's really good. You can play a quick play spell called Sorceros. That kind of helps make this card a little better. I am not on it today just because I don't like the idea of just a one-of. There's a ton of one-ofs in this deck. I can't really say much else about it, but like the deck's already at 45. I don't want to make it bigger. But if you do want to play around the Morugina more and you want to play the Sorceros, it is actually really, really good. The lines do differ a little bit. You do get access to that pop 2 more consistently. My own issue with Morugina is that your opponent can technically chain block it. So if you like wanted to draw and they chain literally anything, you don't get to pop 2. That's kind of the big reason I don't like it. It's more reliable, yes, but your opponent can interact with it easier. Because the end boards in this deck are arguably the biggest in the game in a hot second. I'd like to argue bigger than Malice. However, Malice has a better time building their boards than this deck. But last thing I need is kind of jump through more hoops for my end board, whereas I just want something kind of simple and efficient for my end board pieces. And the last couple extra deck cards here, 2 more fusions. Dam Dragon and Chimera. You can make this really spicily. Either contact fuse it if you put 2 in your back row with the Poplar, or if you want to get really snazzy, you can use the Archetype Quick Play spell, fuse into it using the Diabell's White Witch and your Vengeance Dragon after you use the push. It is very good. If you need like more, the big thing with this deck is that its removal, there's 2 forms of it. There's mass removal, but kind of generic like destruction, and there's more pristine like premier spot removal, but it's not as plentiful. The mass removal is better against stuff like Ryzeal because they kind of just throw 2 4s on board, and then you like go Juro, for example, blow it up, or they activate some of the Surge, Chain Diabell, Summon Silvera. It trades 1 for 2 essentially. It's a lot of 1 for 2s, but there's also a good chunk of cards that can go 1 for 1 with really good interaction. For example, Malice, if you push their names into the back row, it's kind of stuck there forever. They can't really do much about it. So that's kind of like where the Dam Dragon and the Vengeance Dragon kind of come in, just more pristine spot removal, if that makes sense. And the final card, I do fare the Baguska, Little Knight.
Ooh.
It's nothing crazy. I'm not getting a QCR. I've already spent too much on this deck. But Little Knight's Little Knight, 14 card extra deck, hear me say it, it's been like this forever. But regardless, if you don't want to play Little Knight, I can understand that. It is a dark, so you can't summon it off if you do add off the field spell. But regardless though, this is my list, and for shout outs.
Show me your side.
You're so right, I forgot to do that one.
Yeah, just pull it out,
Yeah, you're so right.
We're improving this.
We're absolutely.
Decide's the most important part. It's 2 out of 3 times.
It really
2 out of 3 games you're using it.
That is very true. So for side deck, 3 Lancia. There's a second thrust in here alongside it, an Artifact Sanctum. It's Malice, it's still in the format. You know. 3 Parolia, just another really good hand trap.
I was wondering where that was in your list.
Yep, here it is. It's in the side. Part of me kind of wishes I made like a couple of them, not all 3. I probably put maybe like 2 in there. I definitely really like, you gain just a couple extra draws, and this deck is just so impactful, and any draw that you can get is so good. Real quickly, I am on 1 extra deck card on the side. Actual Azamina needs a better name, but regardless though, this was only for the Lunalight matchup. I'd never faced Lunalight once today. Wasted. Well, it's whatever. I'm still happy I brought it at the end of the day, just because it is there. Also, because if you don't know, it's a kaiju essentially. You tribute your own Saint Azamina, and one of their monsters is just summon it for free. It's also huge. This alone does technically, on paper, out double Liger. It does out because you tribute over the 1 and 4K, can't be destroyed by card effects, so they can't Regeki it, and you just beat over it in battle.
That's hot.
This checks literally 2. So if they do decide to go for that full ceiling, this alone checks the whole thing, assuming you can stick the Saint on board, but you have White Witch to give you destruction protection. You can kind of like fool your opponent a little bit. This deck just keeps on going is the best thing, assuming you don't get Drolled. But we don't talk about Droll. It's very simple.
Droll's not real.
It's not real. For some thrust one-ofs, also, here is the second thrust, for context. Reason why we're not playing this in the main, I was, shout out to Corey for helping me out with this deck theory idea. Multiple thrust in hand is dead. So he did convince me to shave it down to just the 1 and put 1 to the side. Best decision ever.
That's clean.
I have always seen it when I needed it. I've never had like a super clunky hand where I drew like multiple thrusts and they're just sitting there gathering dust. The thrust always came up when I had it. And you do draw a couple times, and it's like you draw 2 times theoretically off the receipt and off the wanted, mainly the wanted. But you will see these card, especially if you like Pearly or Foolish you're playing. You even get like 1 or 2 draws out of it. And in terms of thrust targets, this should be nothing fancy. I want to talk about this card in a second. I want to talk about this card in a second. This card's insane. But for thrust targets, and we're also on 3 evenly, these are all thrustable. You can also thrust for engine too. I literally today thrusted for tails I then sent it for a Whitewood card, and it resets itself, and now it's activatable again. It's spicy, it's light, it's nice. D-Barrier Sanctum for the Lancias, you know, Ryziel, Malice. Evenly, I played through Evenly just because this card has been really, really good this format in my opinion. I'm fine trading my battle phase because then I get to establish the biggest board. And again, it's tossable too, so seeing Evenly is just so good today. It put in its work, for sure. Now, this card, Subversion, the whole big old lore card. This card is so good. It is a searchable board breaker. I love it. One thing I do wish though, I believe the one gentleman that got, I believe it was top, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong. It was like top 30 at the last like YCS, I want to say. He was on 3 of this. It's a good idea to play 3. One issue this deck does struggle with is Baguska. You saw I have a Little Knight, but that can only kind of do so much. It's very hand dependent for the banish effect. Subversion is just the easiest out to Baguska. It's also searchable and settable off of Witch. It also trades really, really nicely into Detonator if you summon it off of, if you set it with Black Witch, because they lose the Detonator regardless. If they chain the Detonator to pop the Witch, you still get to set the Subversion, and if they chain to Subversion, it's gone.
That's hot.
It's very nice. Searchable board breaker. You can send it for a simple spoil. Again, kind of like the Morian Trap. It's very flexible for what it does. And final card, I call this my ceiling card for when I'm going first because I do need 3 cards to side in when I know I'm going first. Scourge. This card was insane. This card is nuts. So, Scourge, for those of you who do not know, you tribute any synchro, negate a face-up card on the field. Then if you tribute a Whitewood synchro, you reborn any illusion. You can tribute your Diabell, bring it back, and negate a face-up card for free. It's got the Whitewood text to reset itself, that's nothing fancy. But face-up card negate was very good. I have negated Lightning Storms today, Evenly's with it today. I even, like in a really weird desperate spot, I had to tribute my Vengeance to negate something on my opponent's board, but it did win me the game at the end of the day though. This card is insane. It also helps with lethal because this negates any face-up card in the field. It does not have to be your opponent's. So if you're missing lethal by like 2k, tribute one of your Whitewood synchros, negate one of your own face-up cards. It doesn't matter what it is. Black Witch, Deception, Stellar, I don't care what's on your board. Negate something on your board, bring back an illusion, preferably your Diabell, which if you got it, you got it, and then you get to swing the end. This pops lethal out of nowhere, and it's super good for crackback kills.
That's hot.
It did come up today in my last match, game 2 specifically. So yeah, that's the side. I can't complain. This is my first regional win. I'm proud of this one for sure. I did not anticipate to get this far.
No, congratulations. You got any shout outs?
Shout outs to Gavin, Olivia, Jude, Corey, Military Corey, you know.
Buff Corey.
You do have to specify the difference because
There are 2 buff Corys.
Yeah, they're both buff. Both Corys are buff, so you have to specify Military Corey and Normal Corey. Shout out to both of them. Especially Normal Corey, Normal Buff Corey, because he helped me. Like I said, he talked to me. We were talking about the Thrust debacle. So shout outs to them. Shout outs to all the wonderful people at BG and all my opponents today too. They're all super, super nice today. I got nothing else to really say.
You should shout out the judges.
But no.
Thank you too, Judge, for the. It didn't come. It wasn't like. It was
It
more
didn't
of a,
even matter.
It
Really,
didn't matter, but it was more of a fun ruling of just figuring out what triggers the L's that to add back. Because if you flip it becomes weird. Because face down monsters is always a weird thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. But regardless, though, I love this deck to pieces. I've been on it since Whitewood debuted. I've been on all the jank, every avenue. Again, join the Whitewood cult. They're super nice, I promise.
But no, bro. Congratulations on their first top 8.
Thank you, man.
And for topping with a cool deck.
Thank you. I love this deck dearly.
All right.
Easily my favorite.
All right, no. Congrats.
Thank you.